your plan. Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. I'm in the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I wanna remember. Oh, the sight of you brings the fight in me, makes me wanna move. Fingers down your spine, looking in my eyes, feel your hands on mine. Tonight we're freer than ever. I wanna remember. Oh, we run every endeavor. I wanna remember.
Wizard, what do you see as you twist the tiles beneath our feet? What do you see? remember the fade in your eyes. I'm lost in space, floating away.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, PRL is back with our North America 2v2 Rivals Cup number 3. Bringing it to life here this Sunday evening. I'm Unthink with Chimblade taking off on the co-casting booth. How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. Excited for some amazing games. I think game number 1, we already have Kaze and Flux up against each other. But before we do start that one, we'd like to remind all you lovely viewers that we do have 2v2s every week, Sunday, same time, 5 p.m. EDT. Make sure to check us out every Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays. We've got our tournaments. Tuesdays are our community nights / viewer games. But enough about us. Let's talk about these teams. Don't think we've seen either one yet, Unthink.
Nope, I haven't seen any of them, although if we do see some players on these, it would be not too surprising if we maybe see 1 or 2 that we know, but it doesn't look that way. We do have Binky, I Make My Own Milk, Kid, and Master226 coming in here for this 2v2.
Interesting team names. Do you make your own milk? Or is that a personal thing for him?
Well, you know, you can make your own milk, you can make a lot of things in life, but I gotta tell you, when you make it your own way, that is really the true sign of an innovator, so we can maybe see some real big things coming out of them.
Definitely. Do you think he makes his own milk because he's a cow or because he owns a cow and he uses the cow to make his own milk?
That is arguable, questionable, and I will say that it's kind of rude to assume that he only has cows. I will have you know, a lot of mammals do make milk. Goats, camels, there are a lot of different options.
I can think of one more, but we won't talk about that.
That's cats, I know, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of for sure. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you put this in this direction, and we're going to get this one going in just a second, waiting for the players to take the field. We'll get this one rolling. Just in general, folks, once again, we do have some fantastic tournaments here. Don't forget to head over to ProRL.com and check out our latest schedule. We have updated that a little bit for you. So if you're interested in getting in some good old Rocket League, don't forget to head on over there and sign up for all of our fantastic days.
Fantastic days are Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, and usually Tuesdays. Not always, but 90% of the time, we try our best to keep those up, but running 3 tournaments a week is not the easiest thing to do, so we appreciate all your help. Thanks so much for making this what it is. And again, this is PRL. Thank you for joining us. I hope we get this one underway soon. There we go. The teams have joined their respective sides. Blue against Orange, Flux against the Quays for this one, and it is game number 1 of the tournament. And I think, regardless of any series, game number 1 always does have those first jitters to take out, and it is Binky up against Master G for this one. Kid looking to push this one upfield. He does it. Make my own milk, though. Milks this one right out of his own net, and we're 10 seconds in, and obviously not too much from either team, so we'll see how the two teams react to each other in that first, like I talked about, that first minute or so of game number 1. Definitely a much more feeling out stage, I think.
Definitely a short opportunity coming in for them once again. The K's trying to set something up, and they go for it again. This is 2 so far here for a false execution, but definitely getting something set up, and it does look like they're ready to start playing a little bit more aggressively coming into this one.
Yeah, definitely Master G now looking to stretch that pitch. Can't find it, though. Kid on the left corner pops one across on his own defensive half. Up high now. Kid comes out with that clear. Binky in the net as well. Carries it to the far corner. Looks to get maybe kind of a 1-2 play going with his teammate. Doesn't find it, though. Approaching that 1 minute in mark. Both teams may have a pretty good idea of what they're up against, what they need to do. Binky looks for the center. Can't quite find Make My Own Milk. Now Make My Own Milk looking to intercept this one. Kid, though, carries it up the pitch onto that orange half, onto his attacking half. Binky, good little parry. Now Master for the finisher. Finds the top. Needs the rebound now from Kid. Kid, though, can't finish that one off. We're 3:50 into this one, and so far, Flux has been coming in with a lot of good shots.
They've had a couple opportunities, but it does feel like the K's are definitely maintaining most of the pace of this game right now.
Yeah,
we're seeing a lot of good action over into the blue zone, and we really haven't seen any real mark made so far over on the K's side in terms of the offensive play here. Coming from Kid, though, does change that up almost immediately. Love to hear myself be wrong. Minute 30 seconds in here, 1-0.
Yeah, definitely got to cut down that angle on that one as well. Make My Own Milk stayed on the ground a little bit too long. Probably won't needed to go up, cut down the angle in that 1v1 situation, but he ended up leaving it as a 1v0. Kid taking this one. I think we were talking about milk before, and kids, do they have milk? Because they are baby goats, but are they? I think so.
That's a tough question, and certainly not one that I'm going to be able to successfully answer here this evening. But if anyone in our viewer chat has a feeling or knows a little bit more about this, please share your knowledge.
Yeah, I'll give you an orange pirate hat if you know it. But there's Binky putting one in for the orange side. The K's taking the tie right back up, 3:17 in.
So this was good ball control, and actually an interesting choice made. So I Make My Own Milk, goes in, opts to hand this one off to Binky, and Binky picking up right where he left off. It was good play here, good communication coming in, and definitely critical. Didn't see much in terms of the defense going in for a challenge on that one, and that does cost them another point here. Coming in 1-1 for the equalizer, and it's still a shot here for either team.
Milk now, carrying this one onto the attacking end. Kid there as well in the flank. Good touch towards the right side, but make my own Milk for the pass center. Looking for those combination plays with his teammate. Can't quite find them yet. That's that first goal they got was kind of a solo play. Kid and Master bumping heads on that one. Kid, a float one across, finds the crossbar. So close, that woodwork. Relentless so far, now recentered from a Master on the right wing. Can't find it. Blinky bombs this one up. Make my Milk for the blast. Center doesn't find it though. Kid carries it left, off to the wall to himself. 2:38 left in this one, tied up. Both teams definitely doing a good job, but one thing I definitely do notice is that there are not that many wasted balls, especially from Kid and Master. Whenever they get a ball, they do everything they can to make that one on net.
Kid has been on target consistently so far. We've seen him take a couple opportunities in front of the goal, went in for that double touch, didn't get that, but it was definitely the right style in terms of what he needed to do to position himself for a second opportunity. And we're seeing Master G actually give up a lot of ground in favor of Kid going in for more striker position plays, and he's able to hold back and wait in for the second opportunity should there be a rebound. And that's actually working out very well for them so far. They just haven't had anything really on target just yet.
And definitely now onto the attacking third here for the K's. Binky for the touch, finds it center, not enough though. Master looking to carry this one past the center half, doesn't do it. Kid still in that center circle. Finally takes it across, and Make My Own Milk now plays it to the far corner on the left wing. Master needs to rotate back into his own defensive half. It's now in their defensive third. Kid in the net, not going to be enough to carry it away. Binky might have a shot. Can't net that one though. At the center now, a bit of a long ball sort of style going on. Both teams just exchanging clears, not really holding on to possession for too long. They get a couple passes in, go for the shot, and that seems to be the story of this game. But it's off the crossbar now for Master. Missing out on that one as well. Kid whiffs out, and now it's Binky, and I Make My Own Milk off to the races. That should be it for them. 2-1 for the K's.
Couple mistakes here coming in from Flux. They go for the first play here. Master G tries to get the second touch, doesn't get that, and Kid is forced out of position to try to react to that. As a result, misses the play and leaves a wide open shot over the overextension there. Not too much here really from Flux, so much more than K's were able to pick up on the opportunity and then would really run with it.
Yeah, definitely, and especially Binky and Make My Own Milk, they're so strong with their off-the-ball positioning. They know where they want to be. As soon as they saw that opening, they went ahead and secured it. Kid up against Binky. Binky puts one on the middle box. This should be it for My Own Milk. Not expecting the whiff, though, I don't think, from Master. Now Master looking to play this onto the attacking half. Find it, though, still in that blue zone for I Make My Own Milk here. Puts one across to Blinky. Blinky, though, not find it. Binky, rather. Did I call him Blinky? I mean, I think that kind of works.
But
they are cars.
Yeah.
It was there. It was there.
It's mildly acceptable.
Mildly. All right, I'll take it, Kid. Looking to carry it forward now. Popping one up high. The chip shot, and it does go in. Sinks it between the sticks on that one. 2-2. 41 left to play.
Exactly what they needed. Gets the play off of Binky and rolls back over the half here. And now I Make My Own Milk actually gets back and gets the cut, but doesn't get the touch there on that jump. And that play actually did pretty much what he needed to do. And Kid just had a really nice play coming just over his head. And that's going to be a big difference there. Equalizer now 2-2 with 40 seconds. This has now become anyone's game. And once again, we're at a very tight one here for game one.
Yeah, we are. It's actually super cool to see this as well in the opening rounds. It is an open tournament. So close there. It is an open tournament, and it is anyone can join whoever wants to. And usually in the first rounds, especially with the teams with lesser known names, don't know what to expect. Sometimes it is just a complete wash for one team, but this time we're at a close game. 18 seconds left. Definitely in the mood for an overtime right now. Master puts one across, doesn't find it though to either or to his only teammate. I Make My Own Milk now looking to carry this one. Maybe stretch the pitch here. Pops one across. Actually onto his own end. Kid can't find the tap. Master needs it as well. Missing out on that opportunity. Definitely in overtime here. Unless something magical happens. No, nobody is magical as your unicorn on things. So I think we're definitely heading into an overtime. 2-2. 0 seconds on the clock. It is golden goal. From what we've seen so far in the 5 minutes of regulation, who do you think has a better chance?
I do have a big play here coming in for Flux. They've had a lot of momentum coming into the second half, and they've been on target. There's been some good defense here coming in from the K's, though, and so it's going to take a little bit more than just this conventional out from the side opportunities over and over again. And we're seeing that both from Master G and Kid just trying to set something pretty standard up and try to play into any kind of small mistake in the defense. But the opportunity for the second goal actually came in for the K's was a bit of a breakaway, and it was from a small overextension from Flux. Yeah. So it could go either way at this point, but this is it. And Binky's going to take in that third goal here at the 35-second for overtime from that corner. It was a nice play here. Kid goes in for the ricochet, but it's going to be Binky closing this one out and putting that one in just between the sticks.
That's got to hurt. But I mean, that backflip happens to the best of us. When you go for the double jump up and you end up backflipping on yourself, sucks, but it happens. No need to beat yourself up over it, but that is the case heading into game number 2 with a victory. Won't have heat maps for this game, but we'll have them for the next. So we can just go ahead and ready up, maybe talk about just the plain old regular stats that we see in front of us right now.
Yeah, a lot more opportunities coming in from Flux. 6 shots on goal. Very clear that they had a lot more on at bats coming into this one, and that was actually abundantly clear. We saw in the second half that both Master G and Kid were setting up plays from the corner, getting some shots on goal, and getting into position right in front of the box. Very standard play, very easy to read though coming in for the K's, and they were able to hold off most of those opportunities. Binky and I Make My Own Milk actually played up to a little bit more unconventional style when they were actually taking their shots, and Binky getting a couple breakaway opportunities, and then the one from the corner to wrap up the game actually did such a good job in reading into that and then making sure they had an accurate play. To be fair, Flux actually potentially had the opportunity to stop that final goal. Just a bit of a mistouch and a misplay there into that one, and it gave they didn't get enough altitude to get that closeout of the box, and so that put the K's into position here for the first game. But overall, I think this was still a very close matchup, and I don't think there's any way to possibly predict coming out of game 2 unless we see a drastic change in play style.
Yeah, but if I would say both teams are probably going to stick to their old playstyle. It was a close game, which means that they were doing something right for their respective opponents. So we'll see what they do. Not too many changes, I don't think, in terms of playstyle. But one thing I liked that I saw in the first game was Master G. He had pretty good services over to Kid. Kid, definitely the more striker-minded player on this Flux team. So we'll see what he can bring. Hopping into game number 2 now, Binky on the right side, looking to play it forward, doesn't find it. Master G over to Kid for this one. Kid almost finds the angle, not quite. Good job by I Make My Own Milk to cut down those angles, keep the amount of net that Kid has to score on as little as possible. Binky now coming out with a strong clear, blasting it across. Master misses out, 2v1 situation, power play, not working out though, as the Kid does come out with the clear on that one. Back over to their defensive half though. This is dangerous. But no capitalize coming out for Binky. They probably should have taken that one out.
A bit of miscommunication on the defensive side for Flux coming into that. Both players going in for that stop, but leaving the goal wide open in a dangerous space. Luckily, the K is not able to pick up on that and execute, but it certainly put them into a precarious position. They need to be more careful on those, especially this early into the game. You don't want to set up your opponent with any momentum in that regard.
Oh yeah, for sure. The first opening minute of the game is definitely very crucial. Decides who can set the pace of the play going forwards. We'll see what happens of who can score that first opening goal of match number 2. Binky and I Make My Own Milk now onto this one. Master for the shot, puts one on target, not quite. Needs the rebound here, finds it. Chip shots it a little bit too high though. Needs the rebound from his teammate. Kid though rotating in a little bit late. Should be enough though. Fires one across, pulls the trigger a little bit late, and it's a beautiful carry coming out from Binky. Goes onto the offensive half now. Attacking half from I Make My Own Milk. So close. Almost found that back door. Just couldn't though. Now Kid onto the right side. 3 minutes 28 left to play. Binky coming out with the clear. Very risky in front of his own net. Master to capitalize. Doesn't find it. B20 left on that clock, and so far Flux, they did have that one early defensive lapse, but ever since then they've been playing pretty strong, especially with their offensive plays.
What we just saw out of the last about 30 seconds or so was a counter and then a mirrored play, both having the ball roll across the sideline and then roll through, but no outfit. Oh, goodness gracious. But Master G taking an unfortunate touch on that one, pulling into 1-0 here just 2 minutes in here. This play comes in from the line, and Master G going up for a second touch, gets the give and go, and no one's home. This actually is bouncing away from the goal and was going to force Kid to have to reset up. And the defensive stop there was a little bit unfortunate coming in from the K's, and they're unfortunately putting in one in there for their opponents.
Yeah, that sucks as well, but I mean, we did see the Flux come out with a similar sort of wonky play on the last game, so they're even now. They're at an even scoreboard. They can start with a clean slate here. Master to put one across, doesn't find it, a bit wide. Hits the far corner instead, pops one up. This is a good combination play coming out from the Flux. Almost puts that one on net. I Make My Own Milk now looking to carry it forward. Puts one over to Binky. Binky trying to receive that service. Good channel found by I Make My Own Milk. He's very strong at that as well. Able to see the gaps in the defense and able to pass it over to Binky, who loves to put shots on target. We'll see what he can do though. Hasn't netted a single one yet. Now Binky for the play forward. Puts that upfield. Not going to be enough though. Kid coming out with the clear on that one. It's in a bit of a stuck position here. The ball not really doing anything. A bit of a dead ball in this one. Both teams just exchanging clears, playing a long ball game here.
It's definitely been a bit of back and forth waiting for the kick plays here to come in, and something needs to be a little bit more accurate. They need to play closer to the ball to maintain possession. They want to get something on goal. Right now, it's been a lot of push out, get into a clear position, and then rotate around for boosts. That's not providing really any action so far on either side, but both teams in a Game 2 scenario are playing ultra conservative. They certainly don't want to give up any ground, and they don't want to give up any more in terms of goals as well. There's been a lot of very close plays here, but really neither team has taken the true advantage here this game.
Yeah, definitely. The Quays are up the first in the series. They won the first game of the series, and now we see the Flux up 1 goal, now 2 goals in this game, and now I think we'll start to see the Quays decide that they don't have that much to lose anymore in this game. They need to go as hard as they can to hit home.
Yeah, great control from Master G comes in for this one. A perfect roll through, collects all the way through, gets past the defender. This was good individual play that works out very well, shaping up a little bit differently and shifting away from pushing it back into the standard, up from the corner into the box play that we've seen them try to execute on. But Binky taking this one off of the kickoff. What went wrong here? Let's take a look at the replay. It's going to be a drop in, and Kid getting a little bit over on that one, and Binky able to pick up from the 50. This long ball comes in, and Master G just not in the right position to stop that one with boost. It's going to be 2-1 here at 1 minute and 32 seconds, and that kickoff actually changes a lot about this game right now.
Yeah, it definitely does. And that thing that being that I think it was Master or Kid, whoever was on the back line for the kickoff, they went for the boost instead of the ball, and that's been something that's been discussed for a long time in Rocket League, whether to go for the boost or go for the ball. And yet another kickoff goal on this one. This time Binky did not go for the boost. I think he was trying to cheat up on that one, but right off the crossbar into the net. 3-1, 128 left. That last goal for the K's did change something, but we're right back to a 2-goal aggregate here with Flux taking the next kickoff goal.
And definitely a close one. Once again, we're watching these mirrored plays coming from both sides, and it just kind of speaks to a little bit to how close these teams are in terms of skill. They're playing into the kind of the same traps, but at the same time able to execute on the same style of play as well. Kid taking an opportunity. It's going to be Master G for the finish. Just over the 90, not able to collect on that one. It's going to be a pull-through back here for Kid.
Kid looking for his another shot here. Master as well on the rebound. Such great one-touch Rocket League. They play a shot, rotate around. The next player comes in and plays another shot. And that's been working out for them so far. They are up 3-1. A lot of offensive pressure just flooding the gate there for the Blues, for the orange side. The Flux doing a pretty good strong of that. The K's, though, down 2 goals, 45 seconds left. They are still up 1 in the series. So if they do end up losing this one, it does go to a Game 3. Winner takes it all, or heads into the next round of the tournament. Not quite all yet, but closer to taking it all than they were at this point here. Master plays it off that right side, carrying this one up high, looks for his teammate, rotating back now. Kid on the right flank, looking to carry it across, gets the touch. It's a 2v0. This is it. Nail in the coffin for Master G and Kid. They secured game number 2.
This was a strong play, so Kid changing the pace, picks this one back up over both defenders, and then Master G, great positioning. This is good communication. Picks that one up just in front of the box. Once again, the defenders overextending themselves in twos, put themselves into a bad position. However, when you're in a 2 situation and you're down by a few points in the last minute, it's time to start extending. It's time to start picking up and trying to get into that. Now, I will say, probably don't need to be right next to your teammate in that regard, but the mentality is there, and that works out very well. Binky collecting one here with 15 seconds left. This is a 2-point margin. Very difficult to pull yourself back into this, but it is possible if you get plays off the kickoff.
Yeah, kickoff plays are the quickest way, obviously, to score, because it is straight off the kickoff. And again, we saw Kid and Master G both looking for the same ball. And a lot of times when they do that, it's not the best, but they need to recover as fast as they can as well. Once they miss out and they overextend, they just sit there and just look at the ball. They're just ball watching for the next couple of seconds, and that leads to even easier attempts for the opposition to score. But it looks like they do have game number 2 in the bag here, heading into game number 3. It will be winner takes it home for the next game, because it is best of 3 all the way until the finals. Stuff like this, 1-1 first round, only happens at PRL. So thanks so much for joining us. But Flux taking game number 2. We said that they probably wouldn't change much in terms of play style. We saw the same kind of mirror plays at both teams, going for the same kind of combinations between each other. And again, defensive lapses from both ends does lead to the 4-2 here.
You know, Chinblade, we talked about this last game, and this game applies as well. Master G and Kid having the dominance in terms of shot opportunities. This game, it was blown out of the water. 11 shots on goal. They worked very hard to pull those in. They have a very good ratio here. 4 for 11 is not too bad taking it home, considering how strong the K's have been on defense consistently. They have 5 saves under their belt. It's been a pretty strong game from both sides overall. Binky and Milk kind of played a little bit too close to each other towards the last minute. They wanted to both commit to the plays, but if you don't spread out a little bit and you don't set up for some opportunities, you're allowing the defenders, essentially one defender can control 2 players. And that led to a lot of missed opportunities and missed chances for the K's to come into the Flux goal. And as a result, Master G and Kid, once they actually picked up on that, once you get past both players at the same time, it leaves for a lot of varying opportunities in front of your goal that you can't risk giving up.
Yeah, exactly. And that is definitely one of the biggest reasons why the Flux was able to take this one. Both teams heading straight into game number 3 again. It is winner takes it all here at PRL for the game number 3. Best of 5, only the finals. So you'll be expecting this same kind of, I guess, tournament style to be going on until we do hit those finals in a couple of hours. Now, Kid, for the play forward, pops one up high, but I make my own milk. Bombs this one right back over to the far corner. Playing it center here for his teammate Binky. They're rotating back. Listening to his teammates call, no doubt that he has this one under control, but actually goes for it instead. Again, a similar kind of defensive lapse, but this time I make my own milk, not watching the ball, playing back. Good off-the-ball movement from the K's especially. And heading into game number 3, we sort of talked about some of the mistakes that they were making. But other than mistakes, what were like some of the good things that we saw both teams doing?
Flux consistently setting themselves up and great positioning. If there's one thing that we got to see from them, it was Kid and Master G know exactly where they are about 90% of the time. And that is extremely important when you're talking about twos. You can't worry about where your other player is, especially if you're getting back into defensive positions and you're having to work on those rotates. Something we're definitely seeing from the K's, very positive though, is that when they weren't bunching up, they did a great job in terms of playing on defense. Pretty much unstoppable in front of the goal for the most part. They had a lot of consistent saves that might not have otherwise worked out so well, and they're quick to the play. So when they see an opportunity come in, they're able to quickly jump into that gap and play to those small mistakes, and that's something that we saw a couple times from Flux, especially in Game 1, that they're hoping to redo and try to make something a little bit stronger out of in Game 3. And I think we did lose Chim for just a second, so we'll pop back into this one. Minute 30 seconds off the clock, and it's back down here. And Kid with the quick stop out to the corner. Good defensive push, but a little bit light, and it's going to put it back over into the change and give an opportunity for Make to get another shot in here. Make My Milk rolling in, playing the 1v2, and giving Binky a chance to pick up some boost now. It's close. Kid back over into the orange zone and dropping in for an aggressive play, and it's rolling through, and Binky missing that opportunity is going to cost them here. Kid takes the first one here, a minute and 45 seconds into the match.
Yeah, we didn't lose me. I just muted my mic for a second there. Kid now to put one on net. Binky, though, missing out on that one. 1-0 here. The Flux taking game number 1, and considering that they were the winners of the second game, they definitely have that momentum going for them. So it's not too unexpected that the team that doesn't win the second game does heading to the first or the third game with the first goal on net. But now it's up to Binky, and I make my own milk to switch that momentum right back over. Kid comes out with a good interception on that one, deflects it all the way across, misses out on this opportunity. Now Binky in a 1v1, looking for the combination jukes here. Can't dribble it across that well, just has to go for the pop-up, just play the long ball. Wait for his team to recuperate in the back. Now I make my own milk for the shot, plays it wide though. Kid deleted. It's a 2v1 power play situation here. Master G, though, coming out with a masterful save. And now Kid might actually have an opportunity if he can get there first. Not quite up to the races. Gets beaten out by Binky, the front runner, into that race. Now the touch center from Master G. Looks to carry it across, doesn't find it halfway through the game. 1-0. But I Make My Own Milk and Binky definitely look like they have exactly what they want to do planned out. They're playing those balls forward, and when they realize that they need to get back, they do get back. So I'm expecting them to do something pretty strong the second half.
I know we've talked about it a bit, and definitely the K's have very strong defense, but the way Make My Own Milk comes in off of the line, he challenges those balls perfectly. And it's, that was a very close opportunity. Master G taking yet another shot on goal. They've already got 5, and it's only 3 minutes down into the game so far. But I got to say, the K's playing consistently, knowing exactly what to challenge and win, that timing is critical, and it's working out very well for them, and they're holding on here. This would be a much higher margin in favor of Flux had they not have such a strong defense.
Yeah, defense versus offense definitely been showing here. Kid needs to secure it. Finds the bottom right. Bottom corner there for him. 2-0, 144. We were saying that we were expecting possibly the retribution goal from the K's, but there it is, 2-0 for the Flux. A minute 44 left. They definitely are looking pretty good here to win this one.
Binky only pixels off from stopping that one. That was a very close play, and it was the good defensive stop there for Make My Own Milk. Didn't get the clear, and it set up for an interesting position for Kid and Master G to put in for another opportunity. And Binky comes closing in full boost and just barely missing that one. So it's 2-0. Still was a very close chance, and it was a good execution there from Flux. I don't think the K's are out of this one yet.
Well, we'll see if they are or aren't. Can't decide yet. We still have a minute and 20 left, so it is Rocket League. Anything can happen in this wonderful game. Kid now playing one off the right wall. Centers this one. Not going to be enough, though. Doesn't have any teammates to net that one across. I make my own milk now. Looking for the play after that right wing. Gets it across. Needs the center play. Actually, the takeover from Binky. Good, interesting play coming out from the caves. Just let one player to get rid of the possession. Rotate around while the teammate comes up from behind. And now it's an empty net here. Kid for the finish. This has got to be it. 3-0-57. Finds the sticks with a clinical finish. There it is for Flux.
It's what we saw last game, and we talked about it a little bit. The positioning here for the K's on offense, they can't overextend in these positions where they're only down 2. They can still work to pretty, fairly conservative play style, but when they give up the ball into open space like that, that's a easy opportunity for Flux to pick up on, and they certainly did. And once again, here might be another opportunity here in front of the goal. Make My Milk, though, consistently on the back line, working those plays and getting them out to the line now, and it's going to be another play. But Kid beating both defenders. When they get into these crushed positions together, they're causing themselves a lot of conflict, and that was very close to an own goal, but Make My Milk controlling that play and getting that clear out. Absolutely critical here, but only 30 seconds left. This is going to be a very tight show if they want to hold on for Game 3.
Yeah, definitely. You're talking about how clumped up we saw them that last time, Flux. I mean, and the 3 goals that they have scored were not because of that. They were able to stretch the play much more than their opponents. I think that might be one of the big difference makers for this game in terms of the offense. Flux so much better at keeping the play wide, getting those wide balls, stretching out the pitch, so to speak. Whereas K's, when they go on the offense, they're sort of lined up and they're getting caught square a lot of times. Not sure what to do on the offense because they're pretty much just right in front of each other. And that is going to be it. This game heading over to Kid and his teammate Master G on Flux 4-0.
Well, this is a good closeout here, and Flux definitely performing very well in Game 2 and Game 3, and they definitely worked hard to pull into this first series. I gotta say, the K's came into Game 1 very aggressive. It was a very close game. We took it to overtime. Binky, I Make My Own Milk played into some very small mistakes that worked out for them. But when Flux came into Game 2, they changed up a bit of their play style. They continued working into the same motion. They kept taking the shots on goal. They had a lot of shots on goal in Game 2. They had 11 exactly, and that worked out very well for them as well. And actually, they've matched it this game with another 11 goals. You take a lot of shots, you're going to have a lot more opportunities. I know that sounds very simple, but it's actually a critical point that you need to make. So you miss all the shots you don't take, in theory.
Right.
So you definitely need to make sure that you're putting on a couple more and setting up opportunities for your teammates, especially in 2s, because a lot of this is going to be execution, rotate, playing back into small opportunities that you get with the defense coming in and trying to block those. One thing we saw from the Case this game, though, is that their defense was rock solid for the most part. They had so many shots on goal, but you see how few they were actually able to put in. That ratio is the exact same we saw in Game 2. So if Binky and Milk had just a few more at-bats in front of the box on the blue side, they might have actually been able to pull this one out. But unfortunately, K's will be going home today in this best of 3, and congratulations, Flux. We'll be moving on.
Yeah, thanks so much for playing in the PRL's. I think this is our 3rd Sunday 2v2 official Rivals, quote-unquote, tournament. But yeah, Flux taking this one 2-1. Game number 4, very different from the rest. Make sure to check out the VOD if you missed any of it. Very exciting. This is PRL. We'll be back right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
And we are back with PRL's NA 2v2 Rivals Cup number 3. I'm Unthink, bring it to you with Jim Blade. We've got yet another matchup for you today, folks. Snex versus One and Duns. Also a team of a little bit unknowns here, but looking forward to some great Rocket League.
Definitely am. I love crayons myself. I think I had like the huge 128 packs with all the colors. So I love crayons. So I'm rooting for the Snex just because I like crayons. Don't know what slaw means, but I hope it's something color related. Hopefully it is. We'll see what they do.
Maybe. Did you have the one with the sharpener in the back?
Yes, I did. Oh my god, all the kids were like, "Hey, Chim." Well, they didn't call me Chim, but they're like, "Hey, can I use your sharpener, my crayons, doll?"
Weird if they did.
I was like, there you go. That's how I got all the girls in kindergarten, dude. That was the plan. But 4:43 left in this one. Missed the first couple of seconds, and Orthodox for the first goal. An interesting little chip to pop that one between the sticks. Nets it. 4:41 goal up for these guys.
This one rolls to space, and Unorthodox comes in for the play. It's going to be Slaw in on the back end of this one. Doesn't have enough boost to pull in, and this is what happens. So when you get into those kickoff opportunities, you overextend for the ultra offensive play, and then it's quickly forced back. We see this kind of counterplay over and over again in twos. You're expecting your ghost third man back here, and you're not used to playing twos. You're never playing standard play, and here's another opportunity. And Orthodox clocking in yet another one here. Only 10 seconds later here. Let's look at this one. It's going to be Karma. Rolls this one back over, and Unorthodox picks up on the answer very quickly. Once again, both defenders attacking the ball and not focusing on the positioning of their opponents, and that costs them already now 2 goals.
Yeah, that's also amazing ball control from Unorthodox. Definitely seems to be the prolific goal scorer that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of this series. Hopefully the tournament as well. Unorthodox plays one back over to the middle now. Crayon needs this one, plays it upfield, keeps it up high, but Unorthodox comes out with the clear on that one. Back to the left field here for Slay. How long should I go with that one? I don't know. 3 A's, I guess like a second of yeah, I think so.
Depends on if they get a goal.
Oh, that's a good
Karma.
point, but there's Karma with the shot. 3-0, a minute, not even played yet.
Well, Orthodox taking this one out to the line, and once again, this is the exact same thing that's happened on the past 2 plays, and it's going to keep happening if Snex can't turn around and play this a little bit better. They're running out of position. They're playing consistently a little bit too far out from the goal. And then they're running into positions where neither of them have rotated. And it's an easy opportunity for one and dones to pull one in here. So they say one and done, but they've already got 3 here, only a minute into the game.
They're 3 and free at this point. Slaw now for the touch. Can he do it? He does. Slaw, that was all you, baby. 3-1. Finally putting one in. Crayon, well, with nothing on that one. I thought he had the assist, but that was a bit further back. But Slaw doing all the mind games for that one.
Great ball control. That's really all you need to say about that play, indeed, because Slaw comes around, plays it really strong serpentine to maintain that control and pop it over into the 90, and that was fantastic play. They need to come back in with a couple more of those there, so I'm just going to give it to him. Slaw! Is that okay?
There we go.
Is that how you want to do that? I like that.
That was amazing. We'll keep going with that one. Now Karma for the play middle, popping it up high. Centers this one for Unorthodox. Finds the service, just couldn't execute there. Unorthodox almost had it. Crayon needs to keep this one under possession, receives it. Wonky, a bit too deep of a touch on that receive, but it should work out here if Slaw can finish. Can't do it though. Crayon comes out with a touch on net as well. Not going to be enough though. Karma up 3-1 with his or her teammate. Not going to assume any genders. 3-1 with 3:17 left on that clock. Crayon went for the demo. How cheeky and very unorthodox coming up from him. Going to put that one onto Unorthodox, but it's not going to work out. Now the touch on net from Unorthodox almost finds the back door, just not quite. 3 minutes left to play in this one. Up 3-1, but Crayon and Slaw definitely a bit more innovative in their play, especially with that last play that Slaw was trying to go for the demo.
Yep, they're mixing up a bit. They're playing to the unconventional side, which does work well when you have opponents who are focusing very strong into standard play and are executing on good mechanics. It does mix it up a bit and forces them back on their heels just enough to second-guess their plays. Unorthodox actually came in for that very strong, aggressive push, but gave the second touch that was unnecessary, honestly. I don't think Crayon was actually going to get back and get another touch on that, and it was on target. So actually, Unorthodox putting themselves into a bad position, and Karma closing out of that one at the last second, but it's going to be Crayon here for a second shot on goal. Karma pushing that one back out. We're getting into a nice little firing squad as we get this one going, and Snex push back here on the defense.
I love Slaw's offensive movements. He's literally a snake. He's not snaking on the Dominus as well, but he's able to switch left and right so seamlessly. It's not even like cutting it. It's just so smooth. He knows what kind of a flow he needs for that. Definitely a very practiced play for him, and it's working out so far. He's gotten 2 opportunities on net with that play. One of them did go in. One of them nearly did, so we'll see if he can continue that going forward here. Unorthodox up against Crayon. Pinched off into that right corner. Unorthodox to carry this one across, doesn't find it. Center ball here for Slaw. Slaw, does he have it? Not quite. Karma came out. My vocal cords were ready to scream but I don't get to do it this time. Now Unorthodox for the finish. Can he find one on net? No, not quite. Parried off to the left side. Now popped up high. Crayon needs to clear this one out. Finally gets a touch on it. Unorthodox on the ground as well, receiving that one. And it's a bit of a 1-2 there. Not quite working out though. Slaw almost finishes that one. 1:30 left into this one. 2-goal aggregate, and I'm not expecting this. Like the scoreline is not too telling of what the game has been like, because Crayon and Slaw definitely have had a lot of good offensive opportunities.
One and dones came into this one very aggressive into the first minute, making some very consistent plays, and it took a little bit for the adjustment to come in from Snex to adjust to all these different, basically what was occurring, the over-aggression, and then making sure that they weren't pushing in too far into the blue zone. That's working out well for them now. Now they're coming into a little bit more unorthodox play, and ironically against unorthodox, but Karma Picks this one out for the pass play and loads it in once again. 1 minute left here. Look at this one. So it is going to be Slaw going in for the stop, and Crayon backing off of this challenge gives Karma free reign on the goal.
Yeah, I don't know what was going through his mind on that one. I think he looked at the boost and maybe took it off ball cam for a moment, thought Slaw had it under control. But that is definitely going to hurt, especially with only a minute left now. 3 goals to come back. Can they do it? Stay tuned at PRL, and you will find out. Unorthodox put one across. Slaw, though, puts it off to the left side. Crayon might be his chance here for his first goal. There he is. Puts that one on net. 4-2, 49 seconds left. There is still a bit of a hope.
Takes this one in, and it was Karma actually with the challenge in the corner that causes this one. Crayon has another opportunity in front of the goal and puts this one in for the first one. A lot of opportunities so far. So Crayon has actually taken 6 shots on goal.
Wow.
This is the first successful one. Karma actually putting that one in, causing the disruption in the play on the defensive side. Finally gives Snex an advantage here in front of the goal, but they're still down 2 points, 40 seconds, and it's still a bit of an uphill battle unless we can see something coming in quick.
I mean, they're putting the shots on net, so I'm not that, I think that they definitely can do it here because they have, like you said, 6 shots for one player, 4 for the other. That's insane just for one game, especially when you're losing, to have more shots than the opponents. It either means that your opponents are super strong on the defense, they can just come out with those clutch saves, or your shots are not as meaningful as they should be. You're hitting them too soft or wasting the opportunities. Crayon in front of an empty corner, can't sneak it in the back door though. Closed and shut down by Unorthodox. Now Karma and Unorthodox moving this one forward. They know they have this one. They have sealed the deal with that final save there. 2 seconds on the clock. That is it though. Maybe a 6 shot here from Unorthodox. Not going to find it. One and dones. They took number 1, but they are not done yet because they do have to take number 2 as well if they want to take this series. But we'll see what they do. Ooh, the cards are identical.
We saw Snex come into this one early into the game, already at a disadvantage. One and dones, rolled through and took 2 goals within the first minute, playing off the exact same play twice. So it took a little bit of a readjustment here for Snex to come into this one. Once they did, they were able to play onto a very aggressive second half, especially into this game. 11 shots on goal, putting in for a lot of opportunities, but not collecting anything on the execution. That just comes down to better positioning and good communication. They can certainly change that one up for game 2, but one and dones worked very well in front of the goal and then focused on defense for the second half of this game, and that worked out very well for them. 6 saves they pulled in up against 11 shots on goal. It was fantastic. In that last moment, kind of speaks a little bit to Crayon and Slaw. A little bit of miscommunication. That one plays from the corner. You're gonna have to start calling that one. Where is my teammate? Knowing the positioning there is very important.
Definitely is. Just a really quick look at the heat maps before we do head into the second game of the series. Crown and Slaw definitely favoring that southern side of the field, which is a thing that you usually see in the teams who like to play a more passing-oriented game. And a lot of their shots came out from passing plays, quick one-touches to each other. That was working out, so make sure to keep an eye out for that one. But heading into game number 2, Karma and Unorthodox in the lead here, one and dones. Looking for 2 here, and if they do find that second one, they will be done for this series heading into the next round. But Crown and Slaw definitely have a good chance. It's very unusual for sure to see a team with more shots than the opposition to be losing by that big of a margin. So we'll see if they can maybe figure out why those shots were not as powerful on the overall score of the game as they would have liked. Crayon looks for a ballerina move straight off the bat, doesn't find it though. But a good attempt to just go super hyper aggressive at the start. Not much to lose, and definitely the first kind of 10 seconds of the game, you have a little bit more breathing room to be really aggressive and to do something that you might be able to take the opponent off guard with. So we'll see if they can do that, but they are sort of out of that sort of zone that is allotted for that kind of stuff. But now it's Slaw on the right side, looking to put one across, does not. Karma instead off that right corner, centering this one. Crayon misses out. Karma over to Unorthodox. Wonky little touch, not the best. 4:21 left to play. I don't want to say 4:20, don't want to sound like I'm that kind of guy. But Crayon coming out with the clear. Karma there as well, popping one over. Unorthodox for the tap. It's a floater, might even be going in. No, he can't net it. Maybe the rebound here. Slaw though to bomb this one out. Karma there with the touch. Good little interception there as well. The ball was moving towards his or her net, but definitely a good awareness of off the ball positioning as well to be where you want to be for those power clears coming out from the opposition.
Slaw playing into a couple challenges here and working into another play. It's going to be Crayon to the 90. Closes this one out, but this has been a consistent play here from Slaw over and over again, forcing the challenge, forcing this pressure back on Orthodox and Karma, and making them come back into the play and readjust. And this actually set up a good opportunity here for Crayon, who's been waiting to execute on a goal ever since last game. Crayon was consistently in front of the goal, consistently trying to make something happen, and there just wasn't a lot of opportunity for him. He took a lot of shots on goal, but they were a bit far out. This has been a good chance for him to come back in on target, and this will be the first one here, a minute 15 seconds into the game, and they're looking to keep this possession and play on right now. They came out of the last game, the second half, with a lot of momentum, and it's certainly not going to be a conservative one coming in for Team Snacks.
Yeah, I think I also really respected the Snacks team for is that although they did lose with a bit of a large margin in the first game, they didn't change their style. They just stuck to what they know, and it's been working out. There's Sla taking the second goal, 324, in the same hyper-offensive style we love to see out of these guys.
2 for 2. Comes in, plays this one out there. Karma's late to the play, and Unorthodox not able to get off the line in fashion, waiting for Karma to get that touch and play out to the line for him. It sets up to an interesting position, but once again, Snex keeping consistent, and this is going to be a play off the kickoff. It's going to be critical here as Crayon getting this touch, bringing it back down. It's going to be a play. Oh, Orthodox collecting and pulling back out, but it's going to be another opportunity back in front of the goal, and Crayon already out of position, waiting this one out, and it's going to be a full rotate here for Snex. But so far, we've seen a lot of ultra aggression, and it's working out for them. It's forcing one and dones back on their heels, something they may have not anticipated coming into game 2.
Yeah, definitely, because usually as somebody who wins a game, you expect the opposition to maybe change their player style up because they were just as aggressive in game number 1. They got so many shots off, probably the same amount of shots that we'll see coming at it from them at the end of this game. It just wasn't working, but they stuck to it and they just did what they knew how to do. And so far, it's been working out 2-0 in game number 2, half the game. Slowly approaching that half-time mark. We'll see what Unorthodox and Karma do to maybe they're the ones who have to change what they need to do because they were the ones, with the lead in the first game. But hopping into game number 2 here, Crayon and Sla definitely know what they want to do. They're looking to take this one home. And with half the game gone and a 2-0 margin against the people who I think they won 3-0 against them last game, or with a 3-goal aggregate last game or a 2-goal, but definitely around here, that is definitely a big confidence booster for these guys heading into this one. 2 minutes left on the clock now, and definitely looking like Sla and Crayon have this one in total control.
Yep, picking up on the pace now, though. It's going to be Karma for a shot. And Slaw off the line, back in. Crayon collecting this one out, but it has been a very strong Snex game so far. One and dones came out of the first one pretty strong. They played, but to keep in mind that their first minute of the game, they played very aggressive, and then they played back on and played a more conservative play style. Right. They're coming into this game with that same conservative element, and they really can't risk that. Although a minute 40 seconds left, 2 points down, they need to put something in goal. And need to collect on something very quickly here. Slaw, though, has been consistent back there, waiting for a chance to give Crayon another play on that blue goal.
And definitely, Slaw has been so strong with those services up to a striker. Crayon, there it is again, looking for a 1-2 play here. Slaw to Crayon, Crayon right back over, popping it up high. Can Slaw find the dunk? Slaw so close, just floats right in front of that net. Might be another opportunity off that post. Couldn't sneak that one past. Not find the woodwork on that one. Crayon and Unorthodox now in that far corner. Crayon plays this one out. Good touch off to his own left side, although he did have to sacrifice himself being on the pitch for a couple of seconds. That was definitely worth it. Slaw rotated a bit further than he would have liked, but it is true that his teammate Crayon was going to be spawning on the defensive end, so maybe it's valuable to risk just a little bit in that situation, especially when you're up 2-0. Although Crayon and Slaw do have a very hyper-aggressive style, they definitely need to pull back now at this point, just play a little safer than they have been for most of the game and the series as a whole. So although it's great to have the hyper-offensive style if it works, but you do need to maybe change depending on the circumstances of the game that you're in.
Plays in, Orthodox dropped in once again. There's been a couple shots on goal with nothing doing here from Team Snex. They want to keep something back into the blue zone. Orthodox locks this one back out, and Slaw waiting for the close-off. Once again, look at this. Slaw comes in, closes off the angle, and it basically gets handed off to Crayon.
Oh.
And here we go for the counter. Brings it in. Slaw pulls one in here. 3-0, 15 seconds left. I am so sorry for your eardrums.
Oh, they're fine. I loved it, but this is such an amazing play. Oh my god, Slaw just comes right on top of it. He deserved those extra vowels that you put at the end, man. That was insane. 3-0, 15 seconds. Crayon and Slaw definitely heading into game number 2 with a huge confidence boost. They know that their method of hyper-aggression has been working. There's a touch. Almost went in. Maybe a bit of a momentum swing for the one and dones if they could take it, but they were thinking about being one and done. They definitely weren't, because they're heading into game number 3 for the big money. There's no money. I mean, you're getting closer to the big money, but not yet. So they're heading into game number 3 to see who can head forward in this PRL 2v2 Rivals tournament.
This was a good game coming in from Snex, period. Slaw and Crayon consistently on the ball, working good positioning, keeping that aggression and forcing plays through good challenges. One and dones, they had a different game than they had from game one. They came into game one very aggressive, and then they played back. They maintained that conservative play style, and unfortunately, it cost them quite a few opportunities. They only had 2 shots on goal this game. Nothing doing in terms of putting anything in. Unorthodox and Karma, really most of the game they had was played into the blue zone, and it kept them back. And honestly, there weren't a lot of opportunities for them to even stop. There were no saves coming in for them. So overall, one does need to come back into this one, play more aggressive, work to those challenges, and try to get something in the air. We saw very little air ball play out of this one, and I know Orthodox and Karma had good ones from game one.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing that I noticed is that when we saw Sinex coming into the first minute of this game, super hyper aggressive, I assumed that we'd see them with 11 shots on net like they did last game, but they actually changed it. They were still aggressive, but they weren't just taking every shot on net that they could. They're being smarter about which shots to take and which to not, which is why they only had 3 shots. But when 2 of those do go in, it's totally worth it than having 11 shots and only 1 going in. So definitely a higher percentage of shots on net and goals than we saw from game number 1, and that is the one big difference that we saw come out from Crayon and Slaw Team Snex heading into game number 3 with a much better idea of what they want to do here. We'll see who takes it, though. I can't predict anything, but if I were to say something for Karma and Unorthodox, it would be to play less passive, especially in those opening moments. They have to be aware of what the opposition wants to do, because Snex definitely super strong. As soon as they get at those gates, their mind is just on offense. That's it. So definitely for the one and dones, need to be much more aware of that hyper-aggressive style and counter it with some aggression of their own.
This was a good play here, coming for possession in from Crayon and forcing back on defense into the orange zone. But it's going to be Orthodox and Karma setting up for an on-target play. Can they get this one back in? It's going to be Orthodox once again pulling from the corner. Crayon with the stop and Slaw rolling this one back out. Defense getting a little clump, but pulling back quickly. Crayon doing a good job picking up boost and waiting for the second touch. And we're right back into the blue zone here, but you're right. Right now, we're seeing a lot more from one and dones in terms of ultra aggression and keeping the play up, but also keeping the ball in the air, because I think that they may have a more of an advantage there right now. As definitely the ground player of this game so far has been Slaw.
Yeah, definitely has been. Slaw is so strong. He's able to read those balls off the ground, and although you would say that the aerial plays are the cooler ones or the more important ones, the ground shots definitely, and the ground passes, playing those quick 1-2s with your team off the wall onto the ground. A great way to change not only the horizontal game, but also the vertical game in Rocket League is very important. Now Unorthodox on the ball, jukes one out. It's a 1v1 situation. Can't find the combo he's looking for to get that one past Slaw, though. Slaw has been a rock in the defense like we've talked about so many times. Series number 2, or game number 2 of the series. Now off to the left side. Far corner here. Unorthodox looks for that clear, finds it, plays it forward. This might be their chance here at an opportunity. Slaw, though, again in the perfect position to take care of that one. Pinches it all the way out to Crayon. Crayon is waiting. He was a bit overextended on that one. Now it's a 1v1 Slaw, goes to the air. Good contest, but like you said, Unorthodox is definitely trying to play the ball a little bit higher up than they have been, trying to change up their vertical game, but there it is, Slaw, master of the ground. Can't find the sneaky shot, though, this time. 3:14 left on the clock, and definitely a much closer game than game number 2 here.
Oh, no ground given here, and Slaw and Crayon playing every single play that they can, keeping onto the challenges, is working out very well here. Orthodox trying to maintain some short possession, but it's going to be in favor here of Crayon once again. We're seeing, really honestly, a lot of back and forth. No one wants to give up too much ground right now, and they're not playing into any risky space, and that's working out for them so far. But someone's got to give it at a certain point, and honestly, I couldn't call who's it's going to be, but I would say it's going to be Snex just based on their play style throughout the last couple games.
Yeah, Snex definitely love to score that opening goal, and I'm afraid to see what happens if they don't. Crayon, oh my god, just barely comes out with that one. All 64 out for that one. Had to sharpen his moves to take care of that one. Now Slaw on this one, plays it forward, popping one up high, center ball here. Can't find the net though. Karma now with the clear, looking to bomb this one out, but a blast on net, actually just the tap. I thought he was coming at it with a much more decisive angle to get a sharp shot on it, but cut it. Now Slaw tapping it over to Crayon. Good change of pace on that one. Crayon with a long shot over. Karma gets a bump on a Crayon with the Fields backflip. Man, he's still going strong, though, looking for that net, keeping the pressure high. Slaw can't find it. 2 minutes on the scoreboard. We're still at 0-0, and let's look at the shots that we've seen from each team. Again, this usual pattern that we've been seeing. Snex with more shots on goal, and there it is. The 4th shot is the victory. 1-0, 1:53 left to play.
This definitely matches their standard ratio of high shot to goal, about 1-4. And here we are, number 4. Slaw picks this one out from the defense. Karma's back in, watching Orthodox go in for the play and not in position for themselves, trying to block this one off. We got a minute 53, though. It's still plenty of time to come back into this, but Snex taking the first goal puts him into a good shape for momentum.
It definitely does. Crayon looks to gain even some more momentum on that one. Keep up his MV. Crayon now passing one forward. Slaw, huge shot again. The ground play going hard for him. Carrying this one center. Look for the 1-2 touch to his teammate. Can't quite find it though. His teammate rotated all the way back. Now Crayon and Slaw looking to attack to maybe get some possession play for his team. Gets it over to Crayon. Crayon now back over to Slaw. Good little takeover play. Now Slaw carries it forward. Crayon goes for the demo. Can't find it though. Slaw couldn't find the channel to his teammate either. Now Karma flying high. Can't find it. He's got the halo on that Octane, but it's not going to be enough to carry him that far high up into the air. Slaw on that left side. Looking to be... they're up 1-0. So what's the mindset now? Do you still go as offensive as you would when you're down 1-0 or you're at 0-0? Because they're a very hyper-offensive team. So considering their preferred playstyle, what's the mindset heading into the last minute of the game?
I don't think Snex really has an off button to their offensive play, so they're going to continue maintaining this and forcing one and dones back on the defense. If they keep them back over in the blue zone consistently, they don't have to worry about possession in front of their own goal. And now they're setting up for a short play, but quickly knocked away once again here. Yeah, so if you're watching Snex, actually, in the back nine, Crayon has been playing consistently back in the box, doesn't want to force anything up, and giving Slaw free reign over in the blue zone to play the 2v1 space and then maintain that as long as they can. So really they're running the clock at this point, especially into a game 3 scenario. You can't give up any more time than you need to.
Yeah, definitely 20 seconds is all Unorthodox has now to make a statement. Doesn't find it. Slaw fires one across the chip shot. Karma own goals. An auto goal for Karma. How unfortunate. 15 seconds to make up 2 goals. That's got to hurt, but there it is. Slaw with the second goal of the game.
Well, the long shot, and actually Karma getting the touch on it, but just not able to put it away. It goes right into the 90. 15 seconds left. This is going to secure game 3 for Snex here, taking it 2-1 for the series. This was a very close matchup, but I think we saw the playstyle coming out of Snex in game 2 really shaped up how we were going to see the rest of this series go, because they're really, honestly, one and done still have not really answered that aggression.
What the heck, Crayon? What was that? Look at this man. He's an Octane player, and most Octane players love those dribble plays. But look at this. Carries it on that corner. Pops it right over the lob shot over Unorthodox to secure game number 3. I think that was their best goal so far that we've seen coming out for them, other than that early goal we saw from Slaw in game number 1, where he just went snaky all over the defense. But that is going to be it. Slaw and Crayon taking it. Karma is out. He's done after this one. And Snex 2-1 in a comeback situation. They lost game number 1, but they worked out their kinks, and it worked out for them in the end. Snex 2-1 in the series.
The on-the-fly adjustment that we saw from Snex worked wonders out of Game 2 and continued applying in Game 3. One and dones worked hard to maintain their lead in Game 1, actually had to come out of Game 2 with a little bit more of a change-up and didn't change up their play style. This kind of forced them into some very interesting positions that they weren't comfortable in, and it allowed Snex for a couple more raining shots on the goal. They actually had 9-shot plays on goal here, and we really didn't see a whole lot coming in from one and dones in general. You can take a look at the stats and actually see a little bit of that, and once these heat maps load, you'll get to see a little bit more of the play. What we're going to see from that until those load actually is going to be a lot of very strong play coming in from the half. Snex definitely working in from the half and then playing out from the center. We didn't have to see anything coming in from the sides. We didn't see any of that standard play style where you come in from the corner, roll it through, and then play in from the box. None of their goals came in that way, actually. A lot of them were long shot plays, and they forced the defense back into uncomfortable positions in front of the goal, in which aerial play was necessary. Karma missed one. Unorthodox also missed a play into that one as well. And if you have that many opportunities, there's a lot of chances to continue executing that way, and it works out very well for you. So, folks, we'll be right back in just a second with our next matchup. We do have Dynamic and Stay Tilted coming in next, but don't go anywhere. This is PRL.
throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.
Fellow rivals, we are back with our PRL NA 2v2 Rivals Cup number 3. I'm Unthink, bring it to you with Chimblade. We've got some fantastic matchups for you today, and the fun does not stop here at match 3. We have Team Dynamic against Team Stay Tilted. So folks, if you're excited for these 2v2s, do not go anywhere. We'll be getting into that one in just a second. Want to remind you guys, of course, to join us on our Discord over at PRL. The link there is below the stream, as well as our Twitter if you want to catch up on all the fantastic action. And Chim, what are some of the things that they might see on our Twitter?
Announcements for our tournaments. If we want to revamp staff, you might see that kind of stuff. If you're interested in joining us, DM us through Twitter or check out our Discord. Regardless, if you want to make a bigger impact on the community here at PRL, make sure to send us a message on our Discord. We've got a trading channel for you trading boys who just love new items and always want new shiny things. Make sure to check that out as well. But overall, Discord and Twitter are a great way to connect with not only the staff, but other community members who are here watching the tournaments, loving them, hopefully, like you guys do, and we love to do it. So thanks so much for being with us today. And one other quick reminder is that we do have tournaments every week. Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, and then Tuesdays are our community nights / viewer games. So we'd love to see you guys at those. But the two teams we had right now, I think we said were Dynamic and Stay Tilted. That's a funny name. Hopefully they are not actually tilted, because that does not help when you're playing any sort of video game.
We do have it saying stay titled in our lobby though, so if they'd like to stay titled, they can certainly do that as well. I'm not gonna hold them to it, but it's certainly how they want to play. So folks, if you're loving the 2v2s and you've been watching some RLCS and you want to catch some 3v3 action on your Monday nights, don't forget to join PRL for our 3v3 Mondays tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Definitely don't do that. Hopefully both Unthink and I will be there. If not, oops, I spoke too soon. Now Biscuit up against, I was going to say Arcade, but that's Arcade on that one. Center ball here for Hoxer to put one across. Doesn't find it though. Biscuit, his teammate, rotating around on the backside. Arcade missing out on that one. Arcade rather missing out on that one. Hoxer for the center ball. Biscuit rotated a bit too far back. Not waiting for that second touch from his teammate. Saw the first touch go a little bit far off. That did not go for it, but so far Hoxer and Biscuit have just been firing shots and putting plays forward onto that orange net.
Yep, good play here early on. Good back play back here into Biscuit, and it's going to be a close on goal, and this is going to be Biscuit for the opportunity. Unable to execute on that one. Arcade going in for the challenge, but unnecessary play here as we don't see anything coming in from Biscuit. A nice start here, already picking up a lot of pace, and it's going to be Biscuit closing in from the long angle. This is going to be 1-0 here, 45 seconds in. Taking a look at this replay here, this was a soft touch and a big mistake here for Iceman. Biscuit teed up immediately off of this play. It's very soft off the line. You've got to be able to maintain possession on those, and you can't allow for a challenge like that. If anything, putting your car behind the ball prevents a little bit of that, but if anything, keeping away from getting those direct on shots is going to put you a long way here in twos.
Now you have to cut down those angles. You have to just limit the amount of room that your opponent has to score, because at that point, Biscuit just had the whole goal. He was looking at the whole net, looking at it again, but this time, Arcade coming out with a save on that one off the crossbar. Now Hoxer over to Biscuit, not going to find him. Biscuit seems to be in a bit, sort of difficult positions to do anything with the ball. Hoxer finding those channels to his teammates, getting those services. Biscuit seems to be the one at fault for most of their offensive plays. He's on the offensive side, just not where he wants to be to receive that pass.
Yet location services have been enabled, and both teams working very hard to maintain and getting good positioning here. That was a great follow through coming in from Hoxer. Not able to get that one though. It's gonna be Biscuit here for a challenge, and Iceman not executing but getting so close. It seems like we have a lot of almost plays here, and short little this would have been a gotcha had the execution been successful. But overall, we are seeing good positioning on both sides.
They're definitely off the ball. Both teams are so strong. They're getting runs forward. They're getting those passes across. That's down to the Iceman. Find it, Iceman. And Hoxer now on that right side. Hoxer Popping one off the right side. He got the demo as well, but Arcade going to be the one now. Looking to be off to the races. Can he get this one going? Not quite. Right side now, Iceman. Off the right side, over to himself. Pulling it from the flank is Arcade now. Arcade looking for that center ball. Here it is. One touch Rocket League. We love to see it. Iceman for the finisher. Doesn't find the net though. Biscuit carries it off to the far corner. On the attacking third now. Biscuit to Hoxer. Actually doesn't connect with Hoxer at all. Biscuit waited a bit too long to pull the trigger on that pass. Halfway point now. Both teams, I would say, are pretty even in terms of style and pace of play. They're both able to keep up with each other. But that early goal coming out from Biscuit, it might just be enough because not too many good chances coming out from either side.
So we're seeing a lot of, I mean, I got to say, it's basically like, they're getting all the ingredients ready, they're putting them in the bowl, they're mixing everything up, they just aren't putting anything in the oven at this point. Everything is so close to completion, they just want to get a little bit more for their cake here, but they haven't done it yet, and it's going to be Hoxer once again coming up for these consistent plays in terms of getting the setup here, but neither side really able to execute anything, and I wouldn't necessarily attribute it to strong defense so much as the offense just isn't playing into a very strong mechanical style at this point.
Yeah, the person who's designated striker, it's been all four players at this point. Now it's Biscuit. Finally, he connects with this one. Hoxer to Biscuit, the same play they've been trying over and over again. Finally, it works. Channel found from Hoxer. Biscuit nails it between the sticks. There it is, 2-0, 146 left on that clock.
It was a good on-target play, came in and worked exactly what they've been trying to play for the past 4 or 5. They finally got their groove in on that one. The small mistake on defense is what made the big difference there. 4-team dynamic coming in for their second shot and possibly securing this game, considering the low shot-to-goal ratios here that we've seen so far. But I would certainly say there's a chance to change up if Hoxer does a backflip and rolls it over. Oh, though, the trick plays are so beautiful here. Look at this one. Hoxer rolls it up and Biscuit with the give and go, and then Hoxer with a nice bicycle play to sink this one in. I actually thought that he was blocking off his teammate's goal, and that was it. I thought the execution was going to be another playthrough and they'd have to roll back in, but Hoxer picks this one back up, and that is a skill shot.
What a maestro. Hoxer just orchestrating the play all the way through that one. Got the first pass, then the second shot. Insane stuff. Quick 1-2 play now. Biscuit for a more basic shot, but he'll take it. Misses out on that one. A wide on that one as Arcade comes in for the deflect on that one. Now Arcade looking to blast one forward. He's got a minute to score 3 goals. Doubt he'll be able to match the quality of the last one that we saw coming out from Hoxer. Very cheeky, but we'll see. Even the simplest goals do count. Doesn't matter how you score it as long as you do score it. So if Arcade and Biscuit, or Arcade and Iceman can do something here. Iceman comes out with the save. Arcade carried forward, still in a risky position. The ball a little bit dead at this point. Hoxer finally puts some speed behind that one. Biscuit, a weighted pass center. Hoxer, though, doesn't find it. Now Arcade for the finish. Can he find the net? There he goes. Finally meets the woodwork on that one. 3-1, 43 seconds left.
So the give and go play here for Hoxer, unsuccessful from Biscuit. A little bit too much force behind that, forces that out of position, and Arcade able to collect and roll this first long ball. And this will be the first opportunity coming in for Stay Tilted. But 43 seconds, there's still a chance, but they need to start heating it up a little bit. A lot more challenges and a lot more succinct executes are going to be key here. You can't just simply be, clearing for the sake of clearing. It's better to work a pass play and then pull this one in for a strong setup. And if they can continue maintaining that, they could possibly pull 2 more in here. It's 2v2s. It's a lot more fast-paced, and there's certainly a chance for a lot more goals.
Yeah, definitely. We're talking about just clearing it and hoping for the best. That's what we've been seeing happening a lot for Arcade and Iceman. They'll just hit the ball and drive as fast as they can, try to meet it. But again, another team play. Good combination. Hoxer and Biscuit baiting at both defenders. Putting one across is Hoxer. 4-1, 24 seconds in. Heading into game 2 now, I doubt where either of us are expecting a comeback here. But heading into game 2 for Arcade and Iceman, stay titled or /tilted. What is the one main thing that they need to work on to maybe take game 2 or keep it close?
I think both sides really need to work on execution at this point. Dynamic has definitely picked up into a little bit more of a snowball motion and getting the pieces in line, but having own goal opportunities like that is not going to fare well here coming in for Stay Titled, Stay Tilted, staying whatever they need to stay, but they certainly cannot stay in their side next game if they want to be able to maintain.
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't a complete mistake. Maybe it was just, whatever, I'll just shut my brain off for this game, think about game number 2, looking forward across to the next bridges they have to cross. But that is it for game number 1. 5-1 here. Hoxer and Biscuit on a dynamic, taking this one, maybe even scoring the 6th goal for themselves. Not gonna happen. Maybe it is. No. Biscuit in front of him, and that is it. Dynamic taking game number 1. in this series. Heading into game number 2, we talked about they need to do something. The execution is lacking from both sides, but Dynamic somehow pulls away with it, especially in the second half. I think Dynamic did a much better job at fixing that execution problem. The ball got in front of the net, and Biscuit was there to secure the shots, whereas the Kid and Iceman were still having a couple of those early game troubles that they were having in the first half, which is definitely a big difference maker looking at the scoreline.
One thing we're not seeing from the statistics on Dynamic is the number of assists coming in. Hawkser had 11 centered balls. Not something that was applied to the assist number, but definitely something that applied to the overall goals. Biscuit had a lot of opportunities to execute on in front of goal, simply because Hawkser was setting up over and over again. If you take a look at the heat map, you can actually see quite a bit of that coming in from particularly the right corner. Hawkser worked a very long on the wide line and then played out into the center a couple times, but also didn't wait to the corner. Played in from the half, played in a little bit closer in to make a little bit wider angle and more opportunity space, and forcing the defense on stay tilted back. Acade and Iceman, they worked in, they got one good play here off of the line at the 50 to pull in their first goal. They need to be able to maintain a couple more shot on goal plays because they're not going to be able to do anything if they don't have a little bit more. They just need anything at this point. Give and goes, plays from the corner, any kind of aerial opportunities, really just any opportunities at this point would make a big difference for them because they just didn't have enough to execute on, and they played most of their game back on defense.
Definitely did do that, and defense, although it's a great thing to have, you don't just want to have 90% of the game be on defense, 10% of your game be on offense, because your defense, as good as it is eventually going to crack. Hawkser over to Biscuit. Biscuit carries it up towards the final third. Now Biscuit to Hawkser, a different combination, and it still works out. Last game, Biscuit was a striker. This time he's playing the first pass of the night. 4:47 on the clock, 1-0 here for Dynamic.
Very conventional, but when you're playing off the kickoff and you know that you've got that boost advantage coming into this, you can work those plays without the fear of a defender coming in and disrupting. Big play that happened there off the kickoff. Both offense on tilted came in. Acade and Iceman rolled through the play and then were thrown back when they had to get back on defense, and they really didn't have the boost to come back and make that rotate. Those all-in plays that early on will work if you're effective and able to maintain possession, but when you don't, you set yourself up for a very dangerous counter opportunity. And once again, the demo locking in Biscuit. Hawkser, look at this play here.
How? Hawkser, you got the demo and you got the touch right after. So smooth. Demo to pass, Biscuit to net. Beautiful play. Hawkser, again, the maestro. He's so strong, orchestrating every single play. Almost every single play, I'll say. Not all of them, but most of them. And then it's also up to Biscuit to be there to read his teammate and able to communicate. Quite a crescendo. There you go. Hawkser now on the right side, looking to play it across. Doesn't find it. Can he get the back pass? They actually looked for the team pinch on that one. Popped up high. Arcade whiffs out. This is third goal here. No doubt. Notes on the backboard. Biscuit can't find it. So close there. After saving that ball just barely, Acade and Iceman need to carry this one forward. They've got a minute down on the clock where they have done absolutely nothing this game. They haven't gotten a single shot, a single save, a single assist, a single goal. Nothing for them on the scoreboard, which definitely sucks coming in when you're down one game in the series and now down 2 in the next game. We talked about them being more on the offense. They are more on the offense now, but again, those executions just seem to be a little bit lackluster, I think.
There seems to be a lot of fresh blood coming in for Team Dynamic. Coming out of Game 1, where the executions weren't strong from either side, has changed completely now. Watch this. You're seeing another play here come in. They have consistent setups, and they're forcing the defense back yet again. Stay Tilted have not changed their play style, and they're forcing themselves into bad positions here. Here's another one here. Oh, Biscuit giving away the play. It's an opportunity now for Acade. Can he get the push? It's off to the races. Acade taking in the first one here. 3 minutes, 19 seconds on the clock, and this give-and-go play goes horribly awry here for Team Dynamic as we see a big play coming from Team Tilted. They have a new opportunity to come in and play off of this play, and they could possibly do it. They really need to make sure that they maintain, though, because they've been back on defense the whole time, waiting for these small mistakes. That, unfortunately, is not going to be the playstyle that's going to make them enough to get into the Game 3 here.
Yeah, and Biscuit and Hawkser were looking for that same exact play, but they kind of went back to their early Game 1 antics there. Again, Biscuit was caught a bit under-positioned on that one, and he was not able to connect or be there in time. But the difference maker, was that Iceman and Acade were able to capitalize on that mistake, because that mistake did happen once or twice, especially in Game number 1. I think one time in Game number 2, and they were not able to do anything with it. So that's definitely a change of pace. And yet again, Iceman needs to carry this one all the way across. It is a horse race here. Arcade can't get that one past. Dark horse so far of the game. Been coming out strong sometimes, then he goes back to a bit weaker style. But overall, Arcade needs to, he has his strong points, and he needs to always be at that highest level of play that he can, because sometimes you do see him falling a bit in skill.
Dynamic jockeying into position, trying to lock something in here. It's going to be Biscuit for the give and go once again. 3 give and goes. Nothing to call for it, though, so far. And now we're seeing a big, strong play coming from Stay Tilted. They need to make something off this wall, and they need to get something a little bit faster into the goal. Pushing back and taking opportunity after opportunity is okay. It's finally something that they actually need to do. They need to put a little bit more pressure behind it, because they're getting into these positions, and then they're going back on the defense, and they're just rotating back into their old position, and they don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, they're getting possession, and then they're giving it back and rotating back. So it's at this point, it's just offense versus defense. So close. Biscuit almost able to secure goal number 3. That would have been detrimental here for a Kid and Ice Maker. Stay tilted. Want to stay titled, not tilted. Oh, Biscuit finds the back door, but it knocks right off the ricochet from that back post. Unfortunate, but they still are up 1 goal. Now Iceman looking to take this one all across. Can't freeze the defenders, though, even with all that ice he's got. That's not how Rocket League works. If it was Rumble, he might have been able to do that with the ball, but not the right mode for freezing players. Now it's a power play here. Iceman, if he can knock one over to Arcade, can't do that. Biscuit trying to keep the ball on the orange side as long as possible. Waits for Hoxer to respawn. Definitely a smart play from him. And now it's Iceman and Arcade looking to work something out. We saw Iceman coming with a couple of good passes towards Arcade, but again, that last touch that's needed to put one on net is still a bit lacking in terms of the execution, whereas Hoxer should have this one. No, he gets deflected. This needs to be the opportunity here for Iceman and Arcade. They need to carry this one forward. Yep,
Dynamic 3 times now, hitting the hinges, and the door won't shut, and they get the 4th one finally. Biscuit pulls it in here, 3-1. It has been over and over again, the same execute. These posts being absolutely relentless, and the unlucky stops here, but here we go. Biscuit pulls this one in, gets the breakaway, and the opportunity here resides with Team Dynamic, taking the points up 3-1.
That was bound to happen. I mean, they're hitting the post, they're hitting everything they could except for the net at that point. But finally, they put one in, and it was only a matter of time. And Iceman and Arcade, they definitely realized that they were lucky, and they need to do something more with that luck than just, sit back and say, okay, maybe they won't hit the goal as much as they will. But Hoxer and Biscuit, so strong on the offense. Those couple of missed shots, definitely unlucky, just pixels away from the net, and they finally put in the 3rd goal. That probably is going to be it for the series, unless Iceman can pull something crazy out. Iceman now up against Biscuit, center, ball here towards center pitch. Hoxer carries this one all the way upfield, can't find the far post though. Arcade rather, across the pitch. Biscuit to Hoxer. There's the takeover play where we love to see from these guys, and Dynamic takes goal number 4. This surely is the end of the line here for Iceman and Arcade.
This is a good play here, picking that one out of the air and working the fast pace. They knew they only had a couple seconds to play past the defender on that one for sure. Biscuit and Hoxer working in line, closing that one out. It's normally not recommended to play that close to your teammate, but in this instance, being up 3 points, they had a little bit of wiggle room, or 2 points, a little wiggle room to come into that one. And here's another one here for the final buzzer beater, and we'll take Hoxer's, was that his 3rd goal? Hoxer's 3rd goal here, doing a little bit of a different play here from the last game, where they had a little bit split there, so it was actually 3-2 in favor of Biscuit. But this one's definitely been a strong game for them coming into game 2, and they are going to be taking this series very handily.
I love this play style too, coming out from Dynamic. Usually see the good teams are the ones who can stretch the play, play wide, get open passes, make open space. But these guys, they're like a train. They just trail behind each other, and they just pass the ball off between the two, and it just totally confuses the defenders. And even though they're not playing, so horizontal, they're not stretching the pitch as much as they would like, it's still working out because they're able to even synchronize their celebration dances. And Dynamic taking this one 5-1. Oh yeah, I mean. That's kind of basic. It's just a drift in a circle, but we'll give it to them. They did take the game 5-1 here up against Stay Tilted. So that is Dynamic heading into it 5-1. Any huge things you'd like to comment on thing, or detailed things, whatever you want?
Shots on goal, Dynamic having a lot of opportunities yet again, but Stay Tilted came into this one and played a lot better. Coming into game 2, I will say that Tilted rolled into this one a bit differently than they came into game 1. They didn't really, I would say the second half was definitely more their half in terms of picking up pace and trying to work it. But at that point, Dynamic had such a snowball motion. It was very difficult to overcome at that point. Hoxer and Biscuit, great plays in the air, executing efficiently. So many shots on goal, just missing the target, just a little bit off. So one thing they could probably work on there was actually on target attempts. But having that number of attempts versus your opponent still works out very well as long as you're able to pull a couple in and then maintain on defense. And once again, you can take a look at the heat maps here. We had a very defensive game yet again from Tilted. And so unfortunately, did not pan out for them. They will be going home this evening for our fantastic 2v2 Rivals Cup. Moving on here will be Team Dynamic.
That they will, and thanks again so much for joining us. This is PRL. Stuff like this you only find here. Game number 4 of the night will be Daedalus up against Twin Existence. We'll be heading to that after the break, but before we do head into the break and the next game, I'd like to remind you guys that we do have weekly 3v3s on Mondays at 7 p.m. EDT, and then the same time on Thursdays are our weekly 1v1s. So if you like to play as a team, check out our Monday 3v3s. If you're more solo dolo kind of guy, check out the 1v1s on Thursdays. But that'll be it for us in this series. We'll be heading to the next series again, Daedalus up against Twin Existence, right after the break.